because she realizes I'm not getting up to give her anything before getting into this reading. Yeah, so she's kind of like, ugh, now I have to wait. I am gonna use my Spirit Halloween deck, you guys. This is one of the ones I don't think that I have listed in the links. Obviously, you guys, you can go to any shop and check out, but if you're, not somebody who has a bookstore or a spiritual store near you, obviously you may need to use those Amazon links because they will ship to anywhere. Um, and I grew up out in the boonies, so I know what it means to like have a pizza delivered to your house, like how cool that actually is. You know what I mean? Like, I always said when I was younger, I was like, I'm going to live in town somewhere where I can have a pizza delivered. But the funny part is when you live in town, you're still, a lot of times, you're going to go and pick stuff up anyway, right? But I have had delivery. And also, of course, you can get your groceries delivered, right? In town, which is helpful, especially for folks who are older. When I was unemployed and not getting any unemployment after my employer of 18 years dumped me, you know, difference of opinion, obviously. Um, I did some grocery deliveries to make quick cash. Um, at the time, there was an app called Roadie where I was making deliveries from, which is a company of UPS, actually. So, and I always thought it would be cool to be a UPS driver someday. So I thought kind of like it was fun, like, hey, it's kind of like I'm working for UPS, right? Um, but that was some grocery deliveries, and then you would deliver for some other whoever, basically any retailer that signed up to enable deliveries. So again, that's one of those things when you become a delivery driver or an Uber driver, you realize the importance of signage and placement, especially as you're driving, right? And how difficult it can be, just using the app itself, the Uber app, looking for this location. That's why a lot of Uber drivers have like two phones so they can type that map address in, or into the the car itself to make it safer, right? You guys caught my video yesterday. I was stressing automobile safety and presence while driving, right? Especially in our shared spaces. We share the road with others, right? We share public spaces with others. So we must be aware. We also have a time change coming up pretty soon. So that's going to be more people outside, folks. So start looking for folks to be out. Okay. It's going to start happening. Um, and that may be outside of your normal routine. Well, right. Okay. Say hello. Say hello to the rest of the world, right? Okay. Um, Two of Wands, Cyclops. Very interesting. So, yeah, this is that same, like a Cyclops has tunnel vision, right? And sometimes you need that outside, they would need an outside opinion, right? To see anything outside that tunnel vision. As I'm telling you right now, like, hey, there's going to be a shift happening, right? It's not just going to be a one, there's going to be two here. So, the choice is yours how you want to move forward with that. You can deny that it's happening, right? Or you can accept it and figure out what are you going to do now. Yeah. Queen of Cups on the bottom of the deck. Some of you could have, I'm getting Cancer heavily. You could have Cancer in your chart, okay? Or be born under that sign, okay? A little bit of Pisces as well. Sorry, not getting as much Scorpio, but yeah, Scorpios are, how Scorpio will pop up anywhere on the reading anyway, so. Scorpio's like, I'm in the introduction. What are you talking about, Right? Justice. Yeah, never forgotten. if you do look at an astrological chart, you realize that you have a little bit of each sign in your chart, right? So, balancing out things within you. Justice is also Libra, okay? For some of you, the partnership that you may be entering may be swift justice for you. It may involve legally getting hitched. It may be the point of view that you need in order to move forward. Yeah, so for some of you, this could be a soulmate type activity, okay? King of Swords, this person could also be an air sign if you are not or have that in your chart. But really what I'm getting here is about balance and justice, okay? Also getting that song, Hand Me Down World. Don't want no hand me down world. It's an old song, okay. Na, 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 right? Who does that one? Anyway, I'll have to hunt that one down maybe later. I was meaning to post also some song from yesterday, and I cannot remember what it was. If somebody happens to get to it before me, please do post it in the comments. Like, I don't mind. You know what I mean? Like, I'm trying to get the readings out. I do try to review every single reading that I post, even the lives, because as I'm channeling, I don't necessarily catch everything or write everything down as I go. Okay. So when I review the readings later is usually when I go back and I will tag either the movies or the music songs that I've channeled. Every now and then it might be a quote, okay, or some type of related text of faith, I will say, okay. Right. Testing our faith daily. King of Cups. Somebody might be like, yeah, this King of Cups is testing your faith. Well, maybe if they're acting like an orc, the orcs in that movie, right? And they had to go through and fight the orcs and like get to the, the mountain there in Lord of the Rings or whatever, right? So you guys may be creatively figuring out some problems again. So the cups are the water signs, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. So I called out Cancer and Pisces earlier, so this may be resonating more with you today, okay? But this is the masculine energy, whereas the feminine and what did I say about that, Scorpio? You're like, I know you did not forget about me over here in the cups energy, right? Okay, there's Scorpio, right? You guys, sometimes this stuff just cracks me up. Anyway, yeah. Well, and so this King of Cups might be that Scorpio kind of like, I'm going to put an end to that. Okay, so this, all right, listen, this may be in opposition to this Justice and the Two of Wands energy that first came out. That's offering more stability, what I'm getting over here. Okay. Yeah, so somebody might be grumpy that you are moving forward. Okay, like they have some feelings about it. Does that make sense? What was that? Are you riding, in your feels, and everybody was dancing outside of their car, blah, 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 blah. Again, the weather's getting nicer. People are going to be starting to do crazy stuff. So watch out for, people doing all this stuff. You know how many TikToks are going to get created here real soon? I mean, since they let us keep TikTok, right? We get to keep TikTok. You guys. Oh boy. Yeah. Yeah. It helps the suns out today. We've really needed it, like bad. It's like the turnaround is here. So let it be known. Yeah, Gollum. Wasn't he one of the characters in that movie? Six of Wands. Yeah, there's some kind of celebration here that I feel like that's interesting. I see. Okay. So, um, what's that song? Your love is like a drop in the ocean. La na 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 devotion. Rock the boat, right? Um, yeah, it's like somebody sees you kind of as the rock here, you know, holding almost holding the whole ocean. You know what I mean? Like you remember when Moses parts the waters, right? Parts the seas, and then all the Israelites have like, well, don't they have like a how long do they have to pass in there? I can't remember what the story, how it's written or whatever. In the movie, obviously, it's under the 2.5, 3 hours, right? But I think as written in the Bible, it's like longer, right? Something like that. Yeah, I feel like this person sees your strength as this being able to hold up like a tidal wave. All right. And that's in the heart chakra here. Okay. So you're definitely being admired for that, collective. This is why maybe they want you to see from their perspective how you're seen. Um, what was that? Everybody, well, I'm a Gen Xer, okay? So back when I was in school, right? They would teach us things, random stuff, or we had things like magazines that we would read, right? Anyway, there was this thing called this certain kind of rectangle, right? And like in one box is how we see ourselves, right? And then in another box is how others see us, and then it's like the self we'll never see, and then there's something else too, right? So this is that kind of thing, somebody wanting to show you that other perspective. All right. So what I'm getting from this other King of Cups is that they are disappointed that they could not make this happen for whatever reason. They may be offering themselves as a sacrificial lamb at this time. Yeah, don't you're going to have to use your own discernment on any manipulation energy though that comes with that, okay? And I literally just saw some posts on Instagram about people guilt tripping other people, like like you shouldn't be trying to do that, trying to guilt folks into doing stuff for you, or whatever, which they always say you should give without expecting things in return, but a lot of times people become entitled, right? They think they're entitled to your time and your energy, and we all know that it's just not humanly possible, right? Only something greater than ourselves can accomplish these miracles that other people are expecting from us mere humans, right? Just as a lot of Christians actually believe that Jesus was a man. Yes, he was, and he literally did die. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, there was an end to that story, so what is resolute, what we can give, right? We have to start prioritizing what we can give, after a while, okay? um but what you have been giving, somebody wants you to see that how strong and powerful it is, and perhaps it's been inspiring other people to stand up as well. You know what I mean? This person down here, I don't feel like they're worshiping them. I feel like they're celebrating them. Kind of just like a cheering somebody on type thing, not like this, oh, they're so above, on this pedestal. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, they are literally on a pedestal, but he's also like a big rock holding it down. Okay, again, holding that water back. That takes a lot of strength and energy. Okay. So part of this justice, okay, so the sword of justice, say cutting that water, right? Yeah. Roll the water, you know what I mean? Right. So now I lost my train of thought. Maybe it'll come out. All right. Yeah. You're working on it. You're working on it. Seven of Pentacles. Let's keep going. In the throat chakra is way clearer today, I feel, than it was like 2 readings ago. It was very clogged, I would say. So this clearing of the air, this justice, yeah, there's definitely going to be some kind of communication. 10 of Swords. And it could be communication specifically about what has transpired, okay? Perhaps again from a legal standpoint. So especially this King of Cups who wasn't able to make things occur or is like in this grumpy mood or something, they may be talking to you about, some entanglements or things that have held them up, whereas they see you moving forward and you being recognized and by others as well, where maybe they didn't before, or like they were trying to do too much on their own, I feel like, as well, for some of you. So again, I don't feel like this is like a super karmic energy, but for some of you it may be. That's why I said earlier you are going to have to check the level, use your discernment on the level of, like if somebody's like trying to start guilt tripping you and things like that, and it's like, you know, when it always goes back to like, let's get back to what you can do for me, right? As if you have nothing else to do. Okay. Yeah, Ace of Wands. I feel like a lot of you are full of inspiration. You may tell this person they are full of it. You might get inspired to do that, right? Kind of, in that way. Just saying. Okay. Yeah, I just feel like you have a lot of ideas right now that you're focused on executing. Okay, that's again that Aries energy, that fire energy. So air and fire do mix because they allow each other to breathe. So you being recognized here and having this justice, okay, is allowing those ideas and those embers to kind of get that little, you know what I mean? Instead of, Mr. King of Cups here coming in and pouring a bucket of water on it every fucking time. You know what I mean? Oh, well, that's an exciting mop. You know what I mean? Can you wring your mop out before you show up on the front door? Right? Wring out that mop. Do you guys ever go out and buy one of those mops after that Joy movie like I did? I did use it a few times. I mean, I still have it. It's not the worst thing I ever purchased. I'll say that, right? What else do we have here? What do I talk about? The air signs. King of... And then we have the King of Wands on the bottom too. All right. I heard somebody say I'm better now. Again, who that is to you, King of Swords or King of Wands, right? Could be questionable. Yeah, I guess we're gonna get some clarification here. Yeah, I feel like this King of Swords is so it could be an air sign, could have it in their chart. Um, they're excited to communicate with you. They're excited to see you. Okay. Um, collective, some of you may be, concerned that it's going to be like another wet blanket situation like the King of Cups. And then there's always, the King of Wands style, right? We've all been reading Cosmo for a long time. We all know what that's about, okay? So, when this Ace of Wands comes out here in your third eye, it's taking on a little different meaning, isn't it? Right? Yeah. Reading Cosmo and 17 magazine talking about our periods and boys, right? Since we were how old? Okay. So for some of us, this love stuff is old hat, right? And it's like, well, what else you got? Right? I was just reading something about I just it's not the choice I would have made personally, obviously, so I didn't comment there, whatever. But for some folks, that is a life they desire and that is their choice. However, collective, I feel like you are dipping into the deep end, okay, where you're just like, um, you've like had many opportunities to turn down those roads, right? And you never did, right? So you're like, so why would I yet again, right? Um, I was I was reminded of this too after the reading yesterday because it's so easy to get distracted while driving. Again, like how many times have you just been talking to somebody right while driving? Like and they can be in the car and then you miss the exit, right? I was on a work trip one time. We like missed the entire interstate that we were supposed to be turning on, like detoured like an hour because we were just saying, just saying. So I feel like for some of you, some of these people want you to prioritize their needs in a way that may cause you to have to take a detour where you really didn't need a detour. You just needed somebody to point out, hey, that was the exit. You only got that one eye, remember? That kind of thing. All right. Yeah. So Mr. Flash in the Pan can figure it out elsewhere, right? These euphemisms. Oh my goodness. Look at that. Do it once again. Right? Mm-hmm. Was that ludicrous song? What's your fantasy? You know what I mean? Some people that want to live in a fantasy world, you go for it, buddy. I hope you don't get any fantasy STDs out of it. Right? Huh? Just saying. Just saying. Drained bank accounts come with that too. Wrecked vehicles. Okay. People ending up on 48 hours in Dateline after all that. Mm-hmm. Ever hear of Mary Jo Buttafuoco? Okay. Okay. I have. I'm a Gen Xer. They say that marijuana is supposed to get rid of all your memory cells, but I sure do remember a lot of stuff. I sure do. And thank God that I learned from other people, right? And who might we be learning from today? The High Priestess, me, on your reader here on my tarot channel. I like to say tarot channel because I do use the tarot, but a lot of these are channel messages. All right, I use the tarot to clarify. All right. If you do like, what you hear, please do like the video as well. You do not have to be a subscriber in order to like the video, right? But your support would be appreciated. Also, hello back there in Germany. I have been through the Frankfurt airport in Germany, but that is all of Germany that I experienced, unfortunately. So, but what else do we need to know? Okay, so yeah, again, looking to somebody else for another perspective is not weakness, it's being smart, okay? It's saying, you know what, I'm not a lawyer, maybe I should hire one. Okay. I'm not an accountant, maybe I should talk to one. Okay. Right? I'm not a doctor, maybe I should, look one up that's qualified and doesn't just take people's money and prescribe them God knows what. Okay, I'm willing to listen to those other perspectives, right? It doesn't, that's, you may only have one eye, but that doesn't mean you're without a brain, right? Mm-hmm. But when people are vibing at a low rate, right? Sometimes their brain is in the lower chakras, making their decisions for them instead of doing what they should have known better to do a long time ago. I'm getting that song, Only the Lonely. Yeah. Yeah. But you know what the old saying is, with friends like that, who needs enemies, right? What are your friends actually cheering you on to do? Yeah, back in my day we did some dumb stuff, right? But I never encouraged any of my friends to, light themselves on fire with gasoline. That's pretty dangerous, don't you think? And permanently scarring could be life-altering decision, as in you may not survive it. There's some really scary stuff out there. Right? Just because everyone's watching it doesn't mean we need to replicate it. Okay? Yeah, and King of Swords. Yeah, bringing some logic into the situation here. So somebody's getting this sword of justice, I feel like. Okay. Yeah, rewarded for your bravery is what I heard for, perhaps going it alone. Okay. And again, taking the high road, not everybody is willing nor is able. Okay. All right. Let's keep going. So you might be triggering. People be like, well, why are you doing it that way? Blah, blah, blah. Well, it's like, what were they saying in church the other day? It is right and just. All right. That'll be, but this is a spirituality channel. So if you don't like that, you can go find a different channel. Right. If you're against miracles of life, right? You can go find a different channel. Okay. We're trying to encourage ourselves to do good things, right? And not ignore the bad things, right? There was some Snap story I watched. The woman had her leg all wrapped up in this boot thing, and she hadn't had it out of that boot in like 2 years or something. Yeah, I was like, oh, um, don't ignore what's right in front of us, right? Yeah, 8 of Wands. Messages keep getting clearer. Okay, little Bruce, brighten your day. Thank God it's a nice blue sky day today. Although it's not quite as warm as I would like. My dog, she's taking a little nap. we had a visit earlier, so she's all worn out now. Alrighty, what do we need to clarify with this Six of Wands? Okay, getting on time here. Knight of Swords. All right. I feel like part of why you're getting rewarded is because you swiftly reacted, okay, the way that you needed to, okay? So if for some reason you're doubting yourself, don't. Remember, you need to keep moving forward, right? Day after day. Isn't that the Badfinger song? Yeah, the story of Badfinger, they were not treated very nicely by their record company, I believe, and they had some tragedy among band members there. You know, some of these things can weigh so heavily in our lives, right? That we become unbalanced, right? And sometimes it's time for us to part ways to figure out what is really important, including our own survival. Yeah. So we are not dependent upon others, right? For praise, for adoration, for worship. You know what I mean? Like glorifying this and glorifying that and blah, 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 blah. But sometimes, right? And I'm not saying this is a bad thing either, right? Just takes that one other person, that one other eye on the situation and be like, you know, don't worry about it. You know what I mean? Like you're doing okay. Trust me. Okay. And that could come from somebody like me online, right? Telling you, like, you know, look, happens to a lot of people, you know. I mean, look at how many freaking dick commercials they have on TV for that ED stuff. And y'all know that's covered by your insurance, ain't it? Well, Lord have mercy if you try and get that Adderall and all that crap, right? Stop the presses! Stop the presses! Yeah, I feel like somebody also kind of wants to tell you that you're doing a good job, so they're trying to make it quick. Okay, so again, this communication, um specific about this, about how you've handled yourself. um and for some of you, this may be help holding those waters back, like, you know what I mean, when it's like, you know what I mean. Imagine that Moses being like holding that back for how long, right? And then these, you know, finally these guys get in and somebody's like holding it. I can use a little assistance here, bro. Right? You know, did anybody have stopped to turn around? You know what I mean? But I feel like that's kind of where it's like, yeah, you may have been holding up the curtain. Now you're actually going to get a real curtain rod in there that's going to hold them for you. Okay? Kind of thing. Curtains. What else do we need to know about the throat chakra? About this Ten of Swords, a griffin. So the griffin may be symbolic for you, might be something you would like to look up online. Griffin, where here it has the head and wings of an eagle, but it looks like it's the body of a lion. Three of Cups. So yeah, celebratory in nature. Now, could there have been some other people wanting to celebrate you not getting this justice? Sure. Right? Where's that haterade and the dancery and the right? Let's make right? Remember when they did that old country version of the apple bottom jeans, right? Can somebody do that with some Mary J. Blige? Like really crazy it up in here, you know what I'm saying? I don't know that I'm personally qualified. I play a mirror guitar, and piano and stuff like that. As a trained musician, right? Been taking lessons since I was in first grade, if you can believe it. Piano lessons. Definitely practice your theory, though. Listen to your music teachers about theory. It will help you later. Yes, it will. Mm-hmm. Kind of like those old multiplication tables there, have you memorize and stuff like that. It's something like that that is really, it benefits you in the long run, right? Okay. Ooh. Um, so yeah, I don't know. This King of Cups is just seeming so sad, and I feel like he may have succumbed to some flirtation as well that didn't work out for him. Again, this could be like an old partner, some kind of like the starter husband, the starter wife, like some, and I'm not trying to be, but you know what I mean, where you both were mature enough to realize like this is not what we were going for. Where it's like this is more of like some brother sister type arrangement. And I've lived with roommates before. I'm good on that. You know. OMG. This King of Swords is monitoring the situation. I feel like that's what they want you to know. Yeah, they're wondering if you're, giving it away, right? Giving it up to anybody currently, right? But you collective, I feel again, it's like that's not your, like, you know how to control yourself in public. You know what I mean? Like, but some people don't grow up going anywhere or doing anything. Know how, what was so funny too the other day when I was in church, because it happened to be a kids' mass. And it's like all these kids were sitting so nice and quiet through church. And the choir director was like, what I mean? But she's just doing it like, but these kids were great. So many kids like can't even sit like 20 minutes without, you know what I mean, going crazy. But to the point where there is no like reprimand that will, but yeah, all these kids are sitting there like, you know what I mean? Sometimes kids just act up around certain people. Just happens, right? Just saying. Isn't that the old saying? They're like, well, how come you act right for so and so when you get over here? Right? It's it was kind of like that. And but these are children, right? Whereas adults, it's like, mm-hmm. And if they were never put in check, right, then they get that little entitlement thing, and they think that everyone else is supposed to put up with that behavior. And it's like, yeah, everyone else here is playing by the rules, and we're tired of you not having to, right? So if you can't figure it out, you got to do the Billy Madison route and go back to kindergarten, right? Oh my word. And just to show you, that was not on the bottom of the deck. That was just completely shuffled. So that is wild. 2 of Cups again. Yeah. This person doesn't want you talking to anybody else but them. Again, they have some heavy air in their chart. They're also one of these lay down the law types. So that might be tying in with the justice, and that might be why they, that court thing was coming up as well, the legal thing, right? So whoever this King of Cups is, collective, even though you might still be in communication with this person, they might be kind of like all bummy or something, like about their own situation. It doesn't really have anything to do with you. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, okay, well, we'll invite you to the party, I guess, right? Or whatever. Like, I don't know. Um, yeah, if they're like, oh, I don't want to go, like, okay, fine, stay home. I don't care, whatever. You're like moving forward, moving forward. So, how exactly you do that is up to you, right? Okay. I am not certain though that this other perspective is the same as this King of Swords. Okay, so that is not exactly coming through in the reading that way, but the fact that you're getting justice is, right? And that's why it's coming out in these lower chakras where right at the root, right? You ever been lectured by people about this and that, and then you tell them something and they're like, you can just see it on their face, right? Uh, for me, I live in a multicultural city, even though a lot of people have no idea where my town is, right? Never been through it, never spent any time here, right? Might be, shocked to find out that I live in a multicultural, city anyway. Have neighbors that don't look exactly like me, right? Because I'm in BFE somewhere, right? How would I know anything? Well, right, you're showing them. Okay? You're like, well, actually. Okay? Like the original quantum processors right in here. Okay? Are we going to really start typing in what is 2 plus 2, right? On our calculators? What if somebody reprograms that to say 5? Well, that's not right. Well, that's what the calculator says. That one's a thumb. Doesn't count, right? Yeah. Anyway. Yeah, somebody wants to communicate with you again. You might be busy celebrating elsewhere. It's kind of the message I'm getting. Not saying it's not going to happen, but it may not look exactly like how you picture. All right. For you or this other person. And the thing is, somebody has to actually action that, and collective, what you're not actioning on anymore is stupidity. You're not responding to dumb comments anymore, things that people can easily Google, because all they want to do is waste your time online with these comments and replies and blah 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 blah. You know what I mean? Here, on this channel, I get some pretty good chats or comments, people actually staying on the topic. A lot of people, they just want to go online just to be contrarian, to be trolls, right? To literally waste your time. Mm-hmm. Okay. So recognize when somebody's doing that in front of your face as well. Mm-hmm. I think that's all I got. Yeah, I'm not. I feel like for some of you, yeah, the King of Wands, you're kind of like, like I had that one, yeah. Yeah, Queen of Swords, like I had that one before. Let me tell you how that one went. Right? All these men online. Oh, I can't find a woman. I can't find a woman. Yeah, because they're all at work. Right? Passport bros put on these little videos of the, look at all the beautiful women in Cartagena. Yeah, they're, Do you know what neighborhood you're in, sir? That's why there's Divorce Beach on the other side, right, of Lover's Beach, Paradise Beach, in Cabo, which is very dangerous, by the way. They say do not get into that water or it will be Divorce Beach because the riptide will literally take you away. And for some of you collective, that has kind of happened as a natural progression of you moving forward and not dealing with BSers. The writing literally on the wall. Mm-hmm. You a player hater. I don't care what you're playing. I'll just turn the channel like when it's basketball season and I don't care about the teams anymore. Click. Right? I'm done watching your show. Right? What is that on SNL? He's like, they stole my show. That's what this person think. That's what this person think. They thought they were the main character in your life story, collective. Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's giving a little borderline personality vibes to me. Somebody who doesn't know who they are on the inside. If they're trying to anyway. So, I feel like that's why a lot of you are like, yeah, never again. No. I would rather have tea with their ex-spouse or whoever and any of the other ones. You know what I mean? It'll be fun. Oh, rent a room, right? Yeah. Yeah, collective, the fact that you have better things coming in is just it's very evident, all right. I also heard somebody could think that you are in a same sex, and that could be because these messages are hilarious. Okay. This could be because of a disgruntled so I mean male or female. This happens to be my modern witch deck, so there's women on the cards, on the majority of the cards. But this happens to be because of a disgruntled King of Cups. Like y'all, like when I was in college, my boyfriend from high school, he got jealous of, I think that's what it was. He was jealous of me and one of my roommates because we were friends. You know what I mean? We lived together, your college roommate. Anyway, and then he asked if we were, you know, like hooking up together, and I was like, you know, at that point I was like, I couldn't even like barely dignify the whole thing with a response. It was just like, especially after I knew how he had been and acted in the past. Let me tell you, he was no faithful, old faithful, okay? He was old faithful, all right, to himself, to that lower vibration, okay? Okay? You know. And that's the thing is that, okay, then they'll try and come around and try and guilt you, right? And then be like, oh, well, surely since I've been doing that, they must have been doing something too, right? No. No. That is what karmics will never get through their head. They will never get it through their head because their agenda is always on something else besides what they need to be working on. You know, when the teacher's like, you need to be working on your schoolwork, is what you need to be doing, right? You know? And, you know, some people have the capability. It's not that they don't have the capability, but they don't apply those pearls of wisdom, right? Because why? Because they want shortcuts, right? Let me tell you another little story. Okay. One of my grandfathers was a farmer. Okay. And him and his wife, my grandmother, had 7 children together. all of them have lived past the age of 60 so far. All of them. All fairly healthy. And sometimes that's because we're applying the knowledge that we need to be paying attention to, not taking shortcuts. Because I'm sure you find out when you have that many children to feed and clothe and house, sometimes you just got to put some work in, don't you? Yeah. Thank your ancestors. Right? Chinese do it. It's very popular over there, praying to the ancestors, thanking the ancestors, right? Being grateful for our ancestors, being grateful that we had ancestors that had to do some of that dirty work, the hard work that maybe we don't have to do this time around. But we are not going to forget it just because we don't have to necessarily do it ourselves, right? Does that mean we're going to be absent-minded and forget that it occurred? You know, or we can practice a little humility and say, maybe we don't know everything. Maybe there's something above us guiding us, right? Okay. Also, I feel like some of you might want to check out your moon sign. Okay. Your moon sign is more your emotional being. All right. And often your moon sign is not the same as your sun sign or your star sign or your rising sign for that matter. Okay. So if you do start getting into astrology, okay, there's different signs. So your moon sign is more kind of your just overall emotions. Some say, you know, more your true being is, you know, only you, right? Only you are going to understand how that applies to you. All right. So, you know, you can take somebody's word on the street for it, or you can, you know, do some research, back it up yourself, right? We have the world of information at our fingertips, something many of our ancestors never had, and yet they were very successful with their lives, were they not? Very. So a little bit of work goes a long way, doesn't it? Yeah. Yeah, I'm hearing he too will get his reward, right? I was in the passage from the other day. I did end up going to church, not just reading the passage because it happens to be one of my favorite passages. But yeah, I feel like definitely you are going to be rewarded. That's why the justice is here. Okay. So could have air in your chart. So again, the air signs are here: Gemini, Libra, the water signs, okay, and some fire energy as well. Really, the only one not here is Earth. You know, with this Ten of Swords again, I feel like for some of you, some people might want to talk about things that you're just like, you know, again, like the whole, you know, Tina Turner's famous comment about, you know, oh, did you watch the movie? She's like, why would I need to watch it? I already lived that. Again, moving forward, where you've already learned how to celebrate, right? You've already learned how not to wallow in self-pity, right? Only logical, right? So, you know, you might be asking this King of Swords here saying, what does love have to do with this situation? Right? So, what are they wanting? Right? You know, all these kings saying they own the communication. Well, what does the proclamation say, sir? Okay, because we all can read down here. We're waiting on you, right? I didn't forget how to type. Did you? Did you forget how to write? Maybe you need to practice. Yeah, practice your cursive. Anyway, until next time, please do manifest wisely. Bye bye.